Science declared them gone. It set the date, closed the file, and moved on. But closing a file is not the same as solving a case. A fishing crew in the South Pacific pulls something massive into their net that no marine biologist on Earth can identify. Tribes in the Amazon have been naming the same creature for 300 years, a creature science says died 10,000 years ago. Boats in the Congo overturn in still water with nothing visible beneath the surface. These are not folklore. These are documented, investigated, unresolved cases that have never been explained. 8 animals were officially declared extinct. What you are about to hear is why scientists are no longer completely sure they were right. Number 8, the coelacanth problem. Before we get to the 8, one case that already broke the rule. The coelacanth was a prehistoric fish declared extinct for 65 million years. In 1938, a fisherman pulled one alive from the Indian Ocean. Scientists had been wrong by 65 million years. This is not an introduction, it is a warning. When science closes a file, it is making its best calculation. It is not making a guarantee. Number 7, the megatherium. 9,000 pounds, claws longer than a human forearm. The giant ground sloth stood taller than a modern elephant on its hind legs and ruled South America for millions of years. It was declared extinct 10,000 years ago, a victim of climate change and systematic human hunting. But the Amazon basin is not a place where certainty is easy. Indigenous tribes across 3 countries have independently described the same animal for centuries. They call it the mapinguari. It walks upright. It topples full-grown trees without slowing. It produces a sound that stops people from moving. Multiple expeditions have returned with oversized footprints, crushed vegetation, and snapped branches at heights that no confirmed living animal reaches from the ground. The Amazon is the largest unmapped landmass on Earth. The megatherium's file has not been solved. It has simply been ignored. Number 6, the pterosaur. 35-foot wingspan, hollow bones. A flying reptile that dominated the sky for 150 million years and vanished 66 million years ago alongside the dinosaurs. In Papua New Guinea, locals describe the ropen, leathery wings, a bony crest, a tail that produces light in the dark. In Texas, in Arizona, in remote parts of Central Africa, eyewitnesses with no connection to each other have described identical animals. Silent, enormous, gliding without a single flap. No known modern species matches the description. The reports continue arriving from multiple continents. The scientific response remains silence. Number 5, the moa. 12 feet tall, completely wingless, not even the small, useless stubs that most flightless birds retain. The moa of New Zealand was declared extinct 700 years ago, hunted to zero within a few generations of human arrival. 700 years is nothing. And the South Island of New Zealand remains one of the most rugged and least foot-surveyed environments in the developed world. Since the early 1900s, farmers, hikers, and park rangers have described large wingless birds moving through dense forest. Large tracks have been found and photographed. The moa has the shortest extinction window of any animal on this list. That alone makes it the most scientifically uncomfortable case here. Number 4, the Mokele Mbembe. The Congo River Basin is the second largest rainforest on Earth and one of the least explored environments in human history. Local tribes across multiple generations have described the same animal without variation. Long neck, massive body, a tail that creates standing waves when it enters a river. The descriptions match a sauropod dinosaur precisely. Diplodocus, Brachiosaurus. Animals officially gone for 66 million years. Expeditions have gone in, most have returned with nothing. But several have returned, unable to explain why their boats capsized in water with no recorded current and no visible disturbance on the surface. The Congo does not answer questions, it absorbs them. Number 3. The thylacine. The Tasmanian tiger was declared extinct in 1936 when the last confirmed specimen died in a Hobart zoo. Unlike the other animals on this list, the thylacine is not prehistoric. It was alive within living memory. It was filmed. It was photographed. People who saw it in the wild are still alive. Since 1936, there have been over 3,000 reported sightings across Tasmania and mainland Australia. Several have been investigated by wildlife authorities. Camera trap footage from the 2000s and 10s captured images that researchers could not conclusively identify as any known species. A formal search program was active as recently as 2023. The thylacine is the most recently closed file on this list. It may also be the most recently reopened. Number 2. The mammoth, 22,000 pounds. Tusks over 16 feet long. Officially extinct 10,000 years ago, except for one isolated population on Wrangel Island that survived until 4,000 years ago. The pyramids were already built. Mammoths were still alive. Siberian permafrost has preserved specimens so completely intact that functioning DNA has been recovered. Research teams are currently splicing mammoth genes into Asian elephant embryos. The goal is a living, cold-adapted hybrid within a decade. Meanwhile, in the remotest corridors of Siberia, hunters and geologists continue to report large, hairy animals moving through terrain that no research team has ever fully mapped. The mammoth is the only animal on this list being actively brought back from extinction by science. The question of whether it needs to be brought back at all has not been answered. Number 1. The megalodon. 60 feet long, teeth the size of a human hand. The largest predatory shark in the history of the ocean was declared extinct 3 million years ago. And yet 95% of the deep ocean has never been explored. We have better maps of the surface of Mars than we do of the ocean floor beneath 4,000 meters. In 1872, a research vessel dredged megalodon teeth from the sea floor that carbon dated to only 11,000 years old. The official explanation is sediment displacement. Not everyone accepts that explanation. The deep ocean has no closed files. It has no files at all. 8 cases, 8 files, science declared closed. The coelacanth taught us what happens when we trust the files too completely. We were wrong by 65 million years and only found out by accident when a fisherman pulled the impossible up from the deep and dropped it on a dock. The animals on this list are not myths. They are open questions, and open questions in biology have a history of answering themselves in ways no one predicted. If raw wildlife content is what keeps you watching, our last video will not disappoint. Watch baboons tear a spotted hyena to shreds next. What that troop executed in under 4 minutes should not have been possible.